Hey, what's up, guys? We're back. Week 2 preview and a little bit of a season outlook. I think Saturday revealed a lot, and it also told us nothing about what this season entails. I think this argument that I made before the game. So I didn't even make a post-game reaction because, first of all, I was so pissed off initially. Not because, look, I wasn't mad because I thought we were going to go in there and win. I mean, I did at one point say that we need to win. That's not the same as me thinking it's going to happen. But at the same time, we have a lot of fucking problems. And none of them have been resolved. And once again, the fan base is divided again. And what I learned from, we learned nothing and we learned everything. The point I was making before the game was that the fact that we're not even expected to compete against Penn State is the fucking problem. That is the problem. The fact that it's a shocker that we were in the game until the fourth quarter when we made a bunch of stupid-ass play calls and couldn't move the ball down the field. The fact that we shot ourselves in the foot when we were in a competitive game. But the fact that that shocked people is the fucking problem. This is year 5 of a rebuild. We're in year 5. And the fact that we are not expected to go out and compete at a high level at a program like West Virginia is the problem. I don't want to hear about, the talent and this and that. Bullshit. You get fucking talent at West Virginia University. Let's not act like we're some backwater fucking franchise, like we're fucking Troy University or fucking North Texas or where we had a one-year wonder in 1970. This is a historic program. We win a lot. We're a historically great program. We have historic coaching. Don Nealon, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're a shit fucking franchise. You know? And yet, in year 5 of a rebuild, we're not expected to even compete with a team like Penn State, who they probably are the second best team in the Big Ten. I still don't know about Michigan. The jury's still out. I don't know. It's hard to judge schools when they play against Shalaxkala, fucking Midwestern, Southwestern, Eastern State in the first week. You know, but the fact that we can't compete against high-level talent is the fucking problem. A symptom of the problem is the play calling. The coach, look, this is not, don't anybody get it twisted. Don't anybody get it twisted. None of this is targeted towards the players that actually play the fucking game. Because those guys were playing their asses off. You could tell it's not effort. Effort is not the fucking issue. Talent is not the issue. This is what I was saying last year when everybody called me crazy and everybody said I was a lunatic and I was ranting, raving fucking lunatic. Last year when I said the same fucking things I'm saying again, it's like Groundhog Day. We have the worst problem you can have in college football. The worst problem you can have in college football is bad coaching. Because we have talent. We have the fucking facilities. We just dumped $2 billion into our fucking facilities. That's not the problem. We have a great fan base. We have a good stadium. We have fucking resources at West Virginia University. I know all the crazy shit going on with the rest of the college, but that has nothing to do with the athletic program because West Virginia WVU basically has a monopoly on West Virginia sports. You could talk about Marshall, but they're effectively their own fucking little world down there in Huntington. If you talk about statewide support, nobody touches West Virginia. So, we effectively have a monopoly on an entire state sporting because there's no professional teams. The closest one is Pittsburgh, and that's still in Pennsylvania. It's not in West Virginia. There's no college sports is West Virginia. The state is blue collar state, fucking hardworking people, amazing fucking some of the nicest people you'll ever meet in West Virginia. Amazing fan base. We have everything you need to make an amazing college football program. We have history. We're one of the winningest most programs of all time. In fact, the winningest without a national title. I've said that fucking ad nauseum, and nobody seems to think about that. Everybody forgets about West Virginia on the national stage, but we have the most wins out of any college football program without a national fucking championship. And then on top of everything I just said, all the fucking ingredients we have to make a contender, a fucking dynasty. If you got the right coach in Morgantown, they would erect a fucking statue. We have all the ingredients necessary. We're in a good conference. The Big 12's on the rise, regardless of, because look at Colorado, what they did to TCU, and Colorado's coming. So is, Arizona, Arizona State, Utah, they're coming. The conference is on the rise. We've got nice young teams, nice young hungry programs in the Power 5, UCF, Houston, BYU, Cincinnati. And then you have the old school guys. I mean, there's some great fucking programs in the Big 12. The conference is set up to be a good conference, and it's also one that's not top-heavy. So it's pretty fucking balanced across the board. As far as talent and facilities, everything. It's not like Texas and Oklahoma when they were in the Big 12. I mean, I know they're leaving next year, but, they kind of effectively, it's like Texas, Oklahoma as far as the facilities and history and all that other shit, and then it's everybody else. With the new Big 12, everything is balanced. Everything is set, and it's ripe for the fucking opportunity for somebody to come into West Virginia and compete and win conference titles. We haven't won a conference championship since the fucking Big East. Since we had Geno Smith, and we beat Clemson 70-33. Right? So you have all those things. And the problem we have, it's not talent, facilities, all that other shit, fan base, fucking the ingredients you need to make a successful. The problem we have is a fucking coaching problem. And that is the worst fucking problem you could have. Because a good coach can bail out bad players, and they can disguise things with schemes, and they can do tricks and fucking doodads and finesse wins sometimes, right? If you don't have the talent, like if you have mediocre talent, a good coach can rise above that and make them better than they are. The problem we have is we have a bad coach that's bringing down good talent. Like, our player development since Neal Brown has got here has been fucking horrible. Horrible. No fucking consistency year to year with players. Like, we can't retain people with the NIL, and you could blame Shane Lyons, right? And maybe it is his fault. But at the same time, you also have to, the transfer portal is what it is. Adapt or die, and that's what's happening with Clemson right now. They're not adapting, and they're dying. But you have all these things, and Neal Brown has not developed talent. From year to year, normally we have an identity, right? Like when we were, at least when we had Holgerson, every year we're fucking playing a season. I know going into the year that number one, our offense is going to be fucking spectacular. Our defense is going to suck ass. We're going to win some games. We're going to lose some big games, and we're going to be ranked in the top 25 more likely than not. I knew those 5 things every fucking season. And maybe one season we didn't do any of that. Maybe, no, 2. Because Geno Smith, actually no, bullshit, because we were 7-0 ranked like number fucking 2 or something when we started off in the Big 12, the first year we were in the Big 12. So aside from like the year we went 4-8 with Paul Millard and Clint Trickett when he first got there, you knew with Dana Holgerson, number one, we're going to be ranked in the top 25. We're going to win games. We're going to lose some close games. We're going to have a fucking awesome offense. We're going to score points, and we're going to have a shit defense. And it was an identity. We were a high-flying, high-scoring offense, which is similar to what we were Rich Rod, kind of. Because we still had some fucking baller defensive units, too. But that's the point. With Neal Brown, I can't tell year to year what our fucking identity is. The first 2 years he was here, it was, we have a hard-nosed, tough defense. And, you know, we're playing in the trenches, and we're throwing the fucking, you know, screen. Oh my God, the screens. You know, we had that identity. And then it shifted a little bit to more screens. Did I mention fucking screen passes, tunnel screens, wide receiver bubble screens, and fucking other screens, television screens, fucking phone screens, fucking, you know, fucking oven screens, every fucking screen, right? And that's still part of our identity, right? We have an identity crisis in West Virginia right now. And then with last 2 years, last 2 years, our defense started to shit itself, and now we suck on pass defense, which is weird because when Hogerson was here, our defense might have sucked, but we had some good fucking defensive backs. Terrell Chestnut, fucking Kaiser White. We had fucking Rasul Douglas. You know what I mean? Like, we had defensive back. We had Carl Joseph, one of my favorite fucking West Virginia players of all time, right? You know, and then we had some good defensive players too, even in the shit defense era that we had. Like, we had Kwiatkowski and fucking Dylan and Wes Tonkery and those guys. So, like, we've had good defensive players too, but now it's like our defense, we have motherfuckers getting shredded on, like fucking, you know, shredded chicken and a fucking enchilada on national television where they're 20 yards off the fucking ball on 3rd and 3. What the fuck are you playing so far? Because if I'm a fucking receiver, the quarterback snaps the ball, boom. All I have to do is turn the fuck towards the quarterback, catch the ball, and then I'm leaning towards it, and by the time you get your ass down from the 20 fucking step drop that you, like, as far back coverage that you were in, I already have 7 yards, I've already gotten the first down, it doesn't matter. It happened all night. And I don't understand the defense. Our defense sucks now, suddenly. Even though the first couple years with Neal Brown, we had a good defense, shit offense. And then last year, at first, we had a good offense, shit defense. And then it all devolved into nothing. I don't know what the fuck happened. But the problem here is we have a bad coach. We have, we're getting complacent as a fucking fan base. And I'm not going to be one of those that sits by and doesn't challenge those that are fucking running the team, because you can't, we're going to become the next Nebraska. What do you people not fucking understand about it? The people that are defending Neal Brown and making fucking excuses, I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care about your excuse about the fucking transfer portal, about the fucking NIL, the athletic director, the fucking this guy, that guy, the third guy, the fifth guy, sister's cousin's aunt. I don't care. Because we should have a higher fucking standard at West Virginia than fucking 5 and 7. Wait, hold on. Okay, so the first year, 5 and 7, 6 and 4, bowl game win in a fucking COVID year. Fantastic, great. The Liberty Bowl, we're the fucking Belk Bowl, whatever the fuck we were in. 6 and 7, 5 and 7, 4 years, and now we're 0 and 1. We haven't won a fucking season opener with Neal Brown. And you could say that it's scheduling, and we've started off our fucking last few years on the road. Dick Ball. You're the one who scheduled the fucking games. You didn't think, hey, maybe we should fucking alternate. Maybe we should have the fucking, you know, maybe we shouldn't go on the road to Penn State in week 1. You know, or maybe he thought he would develop more talent. I don't know how he thought that, because I don't know. This is frustrating to watch. And what's pissing me off is that people are trashing West Virginia fans. First of all, nobody's talking about the players. Again, I'll reiterate, the players are not the fucking problem. Right? And if any players are watching this, look, this is not an indictment on you, because I can understand that it's frustrating when it's 3rd down and 1 and or 2nd down and 7 and we're calling the 5th bubble screen to get negative fucking yardage, and you're just sitting there as a player playing the fucking game like, why are we calling these fucking plays? They're not working. But you can't say nothing because that's your coach, and you have to fucking play the game, and you don't want to get disciplined, and you got to fucking put on the face for unity front and pretend like you agree and you're with your coach, ride or die, whatever. But in reality, you're sitting there thinking in your fucking mind, you're like, this is a shit game plan. This is a horrible fucking idea. Why are we running 10 tunnel screens? Why are we running fucking bubble screens? And this is, I heard somebody say it. I don't know who said it. It might have been fucking one of the podcasts that I watched after the game because, I was just kind of, I needed to get a fucking drink after that. I went out to the bar because I wanted to drown my goddamn sorrow because we're not relevant as a fucking football program anymore. And I watched the game, the podcast after I got home. So the guy was saying that we psych ourselves out. Like, we were running the ball in between the tackles of C.J. Donaldson. They couldn't stop him. Because that was Penn State's weakness. And instead of running it down their fucking throat until they stopped them, until they stopped us, what we did was we fucking psyched ourselves out. And it was like, oh, well, they're expecting us to do this. So let's do that. When your enemy is making mistakes, don't interrupt them. If they're not going to load the fucking box, if they want to have 6 players or 7 players in a fucking box and allow us 4 yards of carry, then let them. Allow them to fucking give us all the yardage. Allow them. Don't interrupt your enemy when you're making mistakes. And we psych ourselves out. And now, maybe, Neal Brown, he's like hot and he's cold. He doesn't know the middle ground. Because there is a middle ground. You go for it sometimes. And then there's some fucking times like when it's 24-7 and we're going for it on 4th down, or some of these play calls when we got in the red zone, it was 21-7. Why the fuck are we running? Like, if I see another fucking tunnel screen, I'm going to lose my mind, right? But then they started to actually load the box when we got in the red zone, and instead of adjusting then, like, we adjust when we don't need to adjust, and then we don't adjust when we need to adjust. It's like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing on the coaching staff, especially Neal Brown. And this offense he runs is so disgustingly boring. I'd rather fucking lick cardboard, because that's more fucking flavorful and exciting than what I'm watching. Somebody coined the term, I don't know who coined it, but the vanilla raid. Halfback dive, read op. We're not running. Why are we not running read options with fucking, or RPOs with Garrett Green? But we were running them with fucking Jared Dagey, who couldn't beat a goddamn cripple in a fucking 40-yard dash. Why the fuck are we not running RPOs when we have a fucking mobile quarterback? Especially to disguise. And we have a good offensive line. Why don't we do some fucking 3-step drops in the gun and throw it downfield? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, there was one play we actually did throw it down the field, and it was just a missed pass. But like, the receiver, it was a catchable ball. It was a good ball, and we just didn't execute. This is the problem we have, and I'll tell you this, and you could tell me I'm wrong. And you could call me crazy, and you could say, this game against Pittsburgh, I'm going to be there, I think. I'm almost positive I'll be in Pittsburgh, or I'll be in West Virginia for this one. If we do not, first of all, if we lose to Duquesne, I don't even need to fucking go into that. That's obvious. If we do not fucking beat the University of Pittsburgh, and here we go again with the fucking, well, we could fucking go 8-4 or 8-5 with a bowl win, and I think that would justify Neal Brown staying. And when are you gonna expect more from your fucking franchise? Why do we expect this nonsense? We haven't. First of all, it's kind of naive to think that suddenly in year 5 that we're going to turn it the fuck around. Magically, we're going to turn it around, and we're going to get slightly more wins. Right? This isn't like a fucking vehicle manufacturer where every few years you make a little tweaks and then you fucking fix the little, engine and then maybe you refresh the design. This is a football program. Deion Sanders just showed you could turn around and... Well, actually, no. That's a fucking anomaly because his son is a fucking amazing quarterback and Travis Hunter, like, that is a once in a fucking lifetime. But that's not the point, though. The point is that you can turn it around quickly. You can fucking do it. And the whole argument, NIL, then maybe we need a new face of the fucking team. And this is the problem with the university, I think. They're so afraid to make a fucking bold decision. They want to do the safe option. Well, let's just pick Neal Brown because he's a nice family man. He'd be a nice face for the fucking university. And, he's a good, family man, fucking whatever. None of that bullshit matters if you don't win the fucking football games, folks. If you go 0-12, I don't care about how amazing the coach is off the field. Because it doesn't matter. You're getting paid. The highest paid public employee in the state of West Virginia is Neal Brown. The highest paid. Millions of dollars you're getting paid. And you have one fucking job. It's not charity. It's not fucking raising funds for the whatever the fuck charity event. It's not fucking taking pictures and doing fucking panhandle restoration fucking advertisements or fucking whatever the hell else other sponsors I can't remember because it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's not your job as the head coach of West Virginia University football. It is to win fucking football games. That's the job. That's the job. If we don't win against fucking Pittsburgh, look, you can call me overreacting. But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to understand. If you think I'm overreacting, if you look at it in a vacuum, yeah, you're right. I am overreacting. If you look at it from the two-game, this season alone, you bracket this season in, and you only look at this season, you're correct. I am overreacting. If you think we still have a lot more games to go, and we still have time, and we still have this, and we still have that. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not looking at this season in a vacuum, because you could be right. Everything I'm saying right now, if we go 10-2, none of it matters. But here's what I'm saying. I'm telling you that is not going to fucking happen. Don't get mad at me for being right. I've said this for 2 years now. And people are slower to the draw than me about firing Neal Brown. I wanted him going after year 3 when we did nothing. When we went backwards. You know what I'm saying? And people call me crazy. And then year 4 happens and it's the same fucking song and dance. We don't even make a bowl game. Right? And now we're looking at year 5, but that's what I'm doing. I'm not looking at it in a vacuum. I'm not looking at it from this season's perspective. Oh, well, we have, after Pitt, we play Texas Tech, and then we play fucking, whatever, and then we play TCU, and then, you know what I mean? I'm not looking at none of that. I don't care about none of that. Because the reality of the situation is that if you can't turn around in 4 years and have any improvement, like he had his worst year as a fucking West Virginia University head coach in year 4. That's a fucking problem. What I'm telling you, I'm not saying that we can't win. Like, I am telling you that. But I'm telling you that not because we don't have talent. I'm telling you that because I've seen this movie before. We've seen it for 4 years in a row. I know what Neal Brown's going to do every fucking week. It's not enough. He's not going to bring us anywhere. People are so hesitant to jump ship on Neal Brown. Motherfuckers, you think we're patient. I'm impatient. Coach fucking O got fired from LSU 2 years after he won a national championship. He won a national title. COVID year happens. To me, that doesn't count. If we're not going to count the COVID year for fucking Neal Brown, we're not going to count it for Coach O either. So he had won a national title more than any coach in West Virginia has ever done. Okay? Then, COVID year. They go 4-5, whatever. The COVID year don't even count. They lost 25 fucking players in the NFL. You want to talk about turnover? You talk about turnover for West Virginia for the NIL, the portal, where we lose 10 guys. They lost their whole fucking roster, essentially. So and then they have 4-5. And then they start off a little slow in the next year, and they fire him. There might be more to the story, whatever, that's not the point. The point is that you think I'm impatient. They fired a fucking national championship winning coach 2 years. Not even 2 years, because it was in the middle of the year. 2 years after they won a fucking national title. Probably the greatest team of all time, short maybe of the 2000 Miami Hurricanes. Right? And we're stuck with Neal Brown in year fucking 5. Right? Where we're spinning our tires. Hopefully we can get a win against Pitt. Maybe we'll go win 7 games and get to a fucking bowl game. We're spinning our tires. You know, that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. I'm not looking at it in a vacuum. I'm looking at it from the perspective of the 1,000-foot view. I'm looking at it from the overall perspective. I'm not just looking at West Virginia. You motherfuckers have binoculars on. You're looking only at West Virginia. Take the tunnel vision glasses off. Look around the fucking country. How long did it take for fucking... How long did it take for Josh Heupel to turn around to Tennessee? What? 1 year? Maybe 2? 2 years. In 2 years, he had them beating Alabama. Okay? And say what you will about Alabama. They're falling off, whatever. You're bullshitting yourself if you think they've fallen off. They still Alabama. Okay, how long did it take Ed Orgeron to win a national fucking title at LSU? Maybe 1, 2, 3 years maybe? When did he get hired? 2017? Because I think he was at Arkansas before. But either way, how long did it take Ed Orgeron to turn it around at LSU and win a fucking championship? Okay, how long did that take? Okay, and this is all happening simultaneously almost as we're fucking spinning our tires. So, how long did that take? How long did it take for... How long did it take for... fucking Lincoln Riley to turn around USC? The first season he was there. How long... Chip Kelly turned it around at UCLA in 2 years. Fucking Mike Norvell, year 3 in Florida State. Duke in 2 fucking seasons. Actually, 1 real season and then the 1 game this year where they beat Clemson. You know, how long did that take? It didn't take 5 motherfucking years. So the idea that we have to wait, trust to climb it's outdated. It's an outdated mode of thinking. People, you need to adapt or die. Dion and the way it's done now is the new wave. You need to bring in transfer portals. You need to bring in talented guys. And you need to, first of all, have fucking confidence and some type of swagger about yourself to compete and win in a national fucking stage. I mean, look at Kirby Smart. He started, 2017? From 2017 to 2021, they won, first of all, they were in a national title. Mark Richt was good at Georgia, but that's not the fucking point. Kirby Smart goes in there. Within a few years, they're competing for national titles and winning back-to-back championships within probably about the same time that fucking Neal Brown has been, 5 years? Yes. So, approximately 5 or 6 years it took Kirby Smart to build to this moment that he's got right now in Georgia. You know, so that and the whole thing with Coach O too, they were like towards the bottom. Like when they had Leonard Fournette and all that, they were still a 6-6, 5-7 ball club. They were right about where we were when Coach O took over LSU. And then now here we are, and they won a national title and people forget how quickly. I mean, shit, that was 4 years ago. But still, that's not the point. The point is that quick turnarounds are possible. And we're in year 5 of Neal Brown, and nobody seems to understand that, like, everybody's just looking at West Virginia in a vacuum. Guess what? The same thing happening at West Virginia with the players leaving in the transfer portal and everybody else leaving and the NIL problems, it's happening across the country. It's not just us that's going through this. So to say that we're uniquely fucking pained and suffered by the problems with the NIL is completely... It's tunnel vision. You're not thinking about it from the landscape of college football, right? You're looking at it only through the lens of West Virginia football. Look at it through the rest of the country. Everybody's dealing with NIL. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. You know, that's the point. We're stuck with Neal Brown. We're stuck in this hellhole. And we need to get out of it. And if we don't beat Pitt, he needs to be fired. Because at that point, again, I said this last year, before the fucking Kansas game. Actually, no, after the Pitt game, I think I said this. He needs to be fired because what are we going to learn from keeping him one more year that we wouldn't otherwise have learned? Get a fucking coal baron to fucking pay his salary off for the buyout. Which, that was the excuse last year, too. The buyout's too high. The buyout's too high. The fucking buyout's too high. Well, guess what? We don't have that problem no more. The buyout ain't too fucking high no more. Have a baron donate. If you have somebody that really gives a shit about the school, tell them to pay the fucking money to buy out Neal Brown. Because we're not going anywhere with him. It's sad that people are still clinging to fucking trust to climb. It's not happening. It's not the player's fault. It's the coaching. If we have learned nothing over 5 years, is that we are not going to win more than 6 games with Neal fucking Brown. We're not. We're not. If you want to win 6 games, fine, go ahead. If you want to be mediocre, whatever. That's not what I strive for. I strive for fucking greatness. We should all strive for greatness. You have to have a coach. This is why, okay... And you could call me a fucking hype beast and say that I'm overhyping Deion Sanders. The problem, the thing with Deion Sanders, that he understands that few people, unless you have that competitive edge to you and you have that belief in yourself, that in my own career, I believe in myself. And I believe that I can accomplish anything in that. And that's the same attitude that Deion Sanders brings. You need a guy like that, who genuinely believes not only that they can do it, but that you can fucking do it. Because if they believe you can do it and they believe in themselves and are successful, maybe he's right. Maybe I can do it. This is the problem with America and problem with people in general is that they don't believe they can succeed, and that's why they don't. People don't realize how powerful a human mind is. If you believe that you can do something, then you can do it. We need somebody who genuinely fucking believes that they can bring a national title to West Virginia. Not, we could be a successful program and we could have model student athletes. That's auxiliary. That comes as a byproduct. The number one thing we need to focus on is winning. And we need a coach that can fucking instill that belief that, yes, we can win the national title. Yes, we can. And anybody that says otherwise, get the fuck out. Call me a delusional fanboy all you want to. But this program has all the makings and it has all the fucking ingredients. Like, if you got a coach in there that knew what the hell they were doing, West Virginia would be getting 10 to 12 wins a season. Like clockwork. Because it's all there. It's like... It's like when you get the fucking prepackaged HelloFresh meal. But if you don't know how to cook, you'll make abomination. West Virginia is the prepackaged meal that all we have to do is put it in the fucking oven and cook the fucking ingredients and stir that shit together. But we haven't had a coach that knows how to cook yet. So who would I want as a coach then? Quickly, because I've already been ranting for 35 minutes. I've mentioned him name before. I think Coach O would be perfect. Say what you will. Yes, he has a fucking deep Cajun New Orleans fucking Bayou accent. Who cares, elitist? Number 2, his guys believe in him. Players love that guy. He can recruit his ass off. He has a championship fucking pedigree. And this is, again, the problem I have with the university is that they're so afraid to take the leap, right? This is probably why we didn't fire Neal Brown, because we didn't want to be blamed when we didn't go after Deion Sanders. Because you need somebody that, like, at West Virginia, Rich Rod, yeah, okay, you could call Rich Rod unorthodox. Yeah, he's fucking crass. And yeah, he does what he wants to do. But you know what, though? He got goddamn results when he was at West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? And we were at the top of the goddamn world with Rich Rod. And it's just been a slow downhill descent. And this is a mistake that the university made after Dana Holgorsen. He was another unorthodox guy. The problem with Dana Holgorsen is he has a ceiling. Dana Holgorsen is an amazing offensive mind. He's not a good head coach. That's the problem. But even with that, we still won a lot of motherfucking games, though. We still were in the top 25. We still were competing at a high level. We were still in bowl games consistently. So, anyway, Coach O would be one guy I would love to have at West Virginia. Trying to think who else. Maybe you get... I don't even know, man. That's the problem. Like, other than Coach O, I can't really think of anybody. Maybe Rich Rod. Look, you could call me nuts. You can say that I'm delusional out of my mind, whatever. You know, you probably already said that. And if you disagree with me, you probably clicked off a long time ago anyway. But maybe we bring back Rich Rod. Maybe this is his chance at redemption. America's a land of second chances. Maybe this is his shot once more. He's doing good at Jacksonville State. D2, whatever. You fucking argue that point if you want to. Run from it, hide from it, destiny arrives all the same. This would be, first of all, a chance for both Rich Rod to make amends and for us to get that excitement back. Because, like, I feel like we peaked with him. And we haven't reached that level of success anywhere close to that since. And, you know, maybe it's time to fucking let it go. Maybe it's time to let the bullshit go. I know he left to Michigan. He abandoned us. And, you know, you can make an argument, too, that we abandoned his assistant coaches first, and that's why he left. Whatever. I don't really know much about that. I've heard stories about it. But maybe we bring back Rich Rod at this fucking point. Maybe you go get a Coach O. Make a drastic... Everybody's so afraid to take risks. And yeah, what if if we get Rich Rod, it don't work out, fine. But at least we can say we fucking tried. Maybe you get Coach O, it don't work out. Okay, fine, whatever. We're still in no worse position than we are right now. Because I can guarantee you, those coaches are good enough to at least do what Neal Brown is doing with all the fucking talent he's got. At least. So that's the fucking floor. So that's my take on the situation. Look, the rest of the season outlook, I can't tell you. I'll say this, I will adjust my opinion if we beat Pitt. I don't even know if Pitt's any good this year, though. So we could be in another situation where, we beat Virginia Tech and they were ranked in the top 25. We still have yet to be ranked in the top 25. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to tell you. This is just my thoughts on the situation. I think that, number one, we have to beat Pittsburgh. Number two, if we don't beat Pittsburgh, then he's got to go. because at least, again, I said this last year too, and we limped to the finish line again. But at least if you fire him this fucking early, maybe you do a trial run of a Jordan Leslie or whoever the fuck our other coordinators are. You do a trial run of them just to see if they could run a college football program for 10 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever the rest of the season we have. Like if we lose to Pitt, if we lose to Pitt, we're 1-2 going into, I think Texas Tech. I don't know if we're playing them at home or away. We might be playing them at home. But the point I'm making is that if you fire him then you're giving other coordinators a chance. You're giving a trial run. Let's see if Jordan Leslie can take the keys to the kingdom. Let's see if he could do a better job. Let's see if that galvanizes the squad. Let's really see if it is Neal Brown or if there's something else wrong. Because right now we can only speculate if it is Neal Brown's fucking problem. Like if it is just him, that is the problem. Until we let him go, until we cut him, until we fire him, then we don't know. If we fire him and then we go 2-12 or 2-10. Or we go 4-8 after we fire him and we just suck all year, then it wasn't just him. But he was still a symptom of the problem. But it's the coaching staff. We have enough talent at West Virginia University to at least win 9 games. Will the coaching staff hold us back? We'll see. We'll definitely beat Duquesne. If we don't beat Duquesne, you thought this was bad. Wait till that rant.